Do you want to know how we began to understand the heart? Let's take a journey through time to explore the fascinating beginnings of cardiac surgery and discover the brilliant minds that made groundbreaking discoveries about the heart and the circulatory system. Let's begin in Alexandria with Eratosthenes, a Greek surgeon who lived around 275 BC. Eratosthenes was the first physician who recognized the heart's activity as a pump, and to describe the heart's valves. His anatomical descriptions were so accurate that it was likely that he dissected human bodies to learn from them. Regarding the vascular system, he discovered the progressive subdivision of vessels, till the point that it was no longer possible to make the distinction between arteries and veins because of their small diameter. Erasistratus observed that such small vessels were always filled with blood and named them. After a very long period, these would be called capillaries. Next, we meet Galen, a Greek physician and philosopher who lived in the 2nd century AD. Through animal dissections, Galen recognized the motion of blood and the direction of blood flow. However, his ideas about how the physiological working of the vascular system, including vital spirits, natural spirits, and animal spirits, were of course incorrect. He also stated that blood flowed from the right to the left ventricle through openings in the ventricular septum, which was also not true. Despite these inaccuracies, Galen's detailed descriptions of the heart's structure and function remained influential for centuries. During the Islamic Golden Age, Ibn al-Nafis, an Arab physician, provided the first accurate description of the pulmonary circulation, proposing that blood from the right ventricle passed through the lungs before returning to the left ventricle. He also correctly identified the septum as a wall that separated the chambers, and refuted Galen's theory about the openings between the ventricles. Unfortunately, al-Nafis' work was forgotten and discarded by his own students, and the pulmonary circulation was rediscovered 200 years later by those unfamiliar with his work. In the 15th century, Leonardo da Vinci made significant contributions to our understanding of the heart and cardiovascular system. Through his anatomical studies, he accurately described the heart's chambers and valves. Da Vinci also developed the first accurate anatomical drawings of the heart, showing the chambers and valves and the moderator band, which is also known as the band of Leonardo. Da Vinci thought that the heart was dedicated to the warming of blood, and he described it as a muscle that moves itself and does not stop, if not forever. He was also able to show the mechanism of aortic valve closure by mounting a pig's valve on a glass model. Through this valve, he would pump water mixed with small particles, like shredded paper or grass seeds, to study flow patterns. Later, a papal decree prohibited Leonardo from performing autopsies, and his work on the understanding of the circulatory system was stopped. Fast forward to the 16th century, and we meet Andreas Vesalius, a Flemish anatomist considered to be the founder of modern anatomy. His groundbreaking work, De Fabrica Humani Corporis, published in 1543, revolutionized our understanding of human anatomy, including the heart. Vesalius's detailed descriptions and illustrations of the heart's structure were based on his own dissections and challenged a long-held belief that the heart had 3 chambers. Instead, he accurately described the 4-chambered heart and corrected many other anatomical inaccuracies that had persisted since ancient times. But that's not all. There was another person in Padova at the same time, Fabricius of an Italian anatomist who made significant contributions to our understanding of blood circulation. Through his studies on the movement of blood in the veins and arteries, he discovered the valves in the veins, which are now named after him. But he did not quite understand their function. Now let's turn our attention to William Harvey, an English physician who was born in 1578. He was 22 when he attended the English College in Padua, where he learned from very influential teachers such as Fabricius and Galileo Galilei. Through careful observation and experimentation, Harvey made groundbreaking discoveries about blood circulation and the heart. In 1628, he published his findings in a book called which provided the first comprehensive account of the circulation of blood in the body. Harvey analyzed Fabricius' discovery of valves in the veins, and he understood that these structures helped to prevent the backflow of blood, ensuring that it moves in one direction. Based on this, he deduced that the blood should be sent to the limbs by the arteries and return through the veins. Harvey discovered that the heart contracts and relaxes in a rhythmic cycle known as. Additionally, Harvey conducted experiments on cardiac output, measuring the volume of blood pumped by the heart per minute, and determined that the heart's pumping action is the driving force behind blood circulation. By carefully observing animal hearts in a gonal state, he proposed that the right auricle initiated the cardiac cycle, which is actually accurate. These observations were only possible because of the very slow heartbeat prior to death. which allowed Harvey to better discern the heart's contraction. In the Mota Cordis, Harvey presented his conclusions on the physiology of the heart and vessels, and he provided many examples of his experiments that evidenced the movement of blood. For example, by pinching the vena cava of a snake and showing how the heart then rapidly empties itself of blood, or how by occluding the aorta, the heart becomes engorged of blood. His discovery of the complete circulation of blood revolutionized our understanding of the cardiovascular system and laid the foundation for modern cardiology. And finally, we have Marcello Malpighi, an Italian anatomist who discovered the capillaries, tiny blood vessels that connect arteries and veins and allow for the exchange of oxygen, nutrients, and waste products between the blood. And Antony van Leeuwenhoek, who was a merchant in the city of Delft, dedicated all his free time to the construction of microscopes. He observed red blood cells in a living organism for the first time. Van Leeuwenhoek wrote, "The particles of blood from redness emanates, deliver their juices through the capillary walls, whereby the blood, when returning in the veins, being deprived of those juices which are taken away, will appear blackish." These discoveries brought insight into the significance of microcirculation and the cellular components of blood, which helped almost completing the understanding of circulation. So there you have it, a glimpse into the fascinating history of the early discoveries about the heart. From Erasistratus and Galen to Vesalius and Harvey, each of these brilliant minds made groundbreaking contributions that paved the way for modern cardiac surgery and our understanding of the cardiovascular system. As we continue to explore and innovate in the field of cardiology, we can be inspired by the curiosity, determination, and tireless pursuit of knowledge that drove these pioneers to unlock the mysteries of the heart.